All right, well then let me ask you this. First of all, can you hear me? Good morning. Guten Morgen. If so, I'm trying a new setup where I can stream on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, and here's what's going down. I can see the chat from YouTube, but YouTube tells me it's not streaming. Like, you can't see video. And I do see it buried in Facebook somewhere. But I don't think so I don't know. Can you see the video on YouTube? Like, how about this? How many fingers am I holding up? Really? Huh. It's one of those things. Hey, 111 Film Production. All right. All right. So, okay. Well, I am also on Facebook right now, which is interesting. So I wonder how I'm going to handle all this. And there's supposed to be a unified chat, but I think because YouTube isn't confirming we're on YouTube, I don't think I can get a multi-stream chat. Oh, actually I can. All right, I can see chat. All right, cool. So I can see YouTube and Facebook chat. All right, well, all right. I guess that's something. Can I pop that out, though? No, I can't. All right. All right, well, I'll have to get used to it. It's a little bit different. So anyways, let's go. Trading's risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. But please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Ni hao. Oh. Yeah, weird. Camera. Oh. That's a little better, right? Anyways, hey, my name is Wayne McDonald. I'm a currency trader. I love trading Forex. Most of you I haven't talked to since yesterday, so that's cool. So I'm always here, I'm always around. I'm trying to help with technical analysis, fundamental analysis, trader psychology, big picture, little picture, all that kind of put into one. So thank you for being part of the Forex.Today YouTube community and now Facebook community. Pretty standard operations here. I'm asking you to subscribe, like, comment, that kind of stuff. What else? Let's thank our sponsor of the community, tradersway.com. They're a foreign exchange broker. You're a foreign exchange trader. Could be an opportunity for a symbiotic relationship. You need someone to actually enter your trades into the interbanking system, not just book you, but actually execute your trades. And you want a broker to do it quickly, and you want a broker to do it with no spreads or small spreads, and you still want to collect a decent swap. And Traders Way offers all that to you. MT4, MT5, C-Trader, whatever. So thank you very much, Traders Way. And now think about it. They're actually investing into your education up front with the hopes of you visiting the site and giving them an opportunity of earning your loyalty and respect. Think about that. That's really cool. So thank you very much, Traders Way, tradersway.com. All right, so good morning, happy day to you, everybody. See, oh, there's me over there on Facebook. All right, we'll get that out of the way. All right, we'll get all that out of the way. All right, okay, I think that'll be fine. Can you give feedback on Aussie? Sure. What kind of feedback do you want? We can go through and take a look at some odd. Now, first of all, Why bullishness? Oh, weird. Look at that. It's changed my settings. Right on. Well, thank you for subscribing. Why did it change my animations and stuff? Wow, software is weird sometimes. Like programmers sitting around the table going, you know what we should do when someone connects Facebook and YouTube at the same time? We should change all their animations. Because that makes sense. But anyways. Well, it seems weak. Oh, okay. What time frame are you on? Because I'm on the 4 hour. It doesn't look weak yet. So one way you could look at it is, I mean, it comes down to your time frame, right? The time frame you're measuring. So if you want to look at it this way, the Aussie versus US dollar is weak because it started the month of September at exactly the pivot where bulls would take profit. Okay? So that would be it, Jeff. It's weak under that scenario because that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Okay? This is the only, well, not the only, one of two bullish. It's not actually, I'm going to take it out. It's not actually a bullish take profit. This is actually a bearish sell. Okay? And it is the most important selling price. Notice it's not 74, it's 0.7390. Okay? So that would be it, Jeff. That's what's supposed to happen there. Okay? Now that's technical, which means it may not be long run, it would be short run. So now a bull, and this is why I outlined this for you guys a week ago, even 2 weeks ago. You can look at this and you can, right, we have some sort of support going on here. And we expected that to be revisited in here. This is the most important bullish buy. Okay? And we've known that for at least, well, you know, what day is it? What's the date? The 18th, 17th? We've known that for 18 days. So what it comes down to, Jeff, if you are bearish on this pair, you would have sold it here on the first day of the month, which is logical, and you'd be done now, right? And you wouldn't be asking, like, why is the Aussie yen weak? Well, you're done. I mean, you sold it and you're done. The next part of that is if you're a bull, and I'm more bullish than bearish for sure, eh? These are buying tests, if you will. So we're looking at this maybe as an inverse head and shoulders, if you want. I hate saying that, but if that gets you to buy it, then whatever. If you're a bull looking to buy, you're gonna talk yourself into it, right? So I'm bullish too. So, excuse me. So what I would prefer to see over this week, that my price action pivot points turn from a direction that looks like this to a direction that looks like this. And in that point, I have all the permission in the world to buy dips. What's up, Barry? Do you like cooking? Okay, so now I would carry this forward, and on smaller time frames, because these are monthly pivots, on smaller time frames start to incorporate weekly swing trades and day trades. Okay, So swing trades and day trades inside of what I'm, expecting and even hoping for is some sort of change in direction this way. So that's what's going to be the basis, if you will, of my trade planning. I have a bias and a hypothesis, and I use technical analysis to confirm or deny that said hypotheses using scientific methodology. I don't need a filter. I'm a natural bone killer. Okay. Neat, right? Jeff says he doesn't have the index template. Well, pay the $5. I made a Brazilian barbecue last night that would blow you away. After my 2-hour webinar and after a day in the yard with a chainsaw. All right. So that's that. It's all just standard operating procedure, Jeff. Okay, all standard operating procedure. So as you can see here, a bear would be selling. But a bear would be selling into support, and there's a bit of a fight. How many people here attended Off the Charts with Wayne McDonald yesterday? That was fun. So last night we held a cocktail mixer, a networking event. Boom. How about that? How cool is that, huh? So I had to run outside.
Nice. For my whiskey. So, just a happy hour. Happy hour, everybody. The idea here is you've already placed your trades for the week. The market opened about 40 minutes ago. So hopefully you've already got your plans straight. We do that, or your
yeah, it's great. I wore my bikini.
We did that last week. So, you probably have already pulled the trigger, and boom, your week's over. Or wait, no, it's beginning. It's wonderful too. Ooh, can you guys see me? I guess so. Just over there.
So to do this, I had to live stream a live stream.
We're talking as a community. I did bring news and news.
So we're just hanging out.
For me, at least in my life, they're showing is there's a time when the stock price, when you add up that calculation of what the company's worth, is different from if you add up all the pieces and the components, or how you value their cash flow and expected future cash flow, right? There's two prices. You can come up actually with multiple prices for what a company is worth. And then what you need to do is find when the stock market is, when the stock price is wrong. And that would be like during COVID. The entire stock market drops by 30.
So we were reading about two dudes with rich daddies managing $7 billion, and all they do is once every few years buy some large cap stock. That's it. So simple calculations, just their management fee is $70 million a year. And they're returning on average like 1% a year for their clients. And we were talking about like, okay, well, first of all, let's analyze what they do and how they do it. How do you buy a large cap stock for cheap? But the other thing is you work a lot harder than they do. They spend more time working on their clients than they do their portfolio, and they are guaranteed just in fees to make $70 million a year. Yeah, but there's two of them, and they probably have some staff, and they have to pay rent. Like, think about it. How many small business people do you know make $70 million a year doing nothing? I mean, pretty amazing. I think, anyways. Yeah, Sophie wore a bikini, so views went up like crazy. All right. I keep fiddling with all these windows. So anyways, I'll just keep moving around. This is interesting because there's multiple chats going on. And interesting. Anyways, so la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Okay. So right now, as you can see, analyzing price action, we're currently more bearish than bullish. Statistically speaking, we're one standard deviation above the mean with a negative slope. I'd like to see a positive slope and then buy one standard deviation below the mean. Okay? So that's cool. And as you can see, I have two trades at break even. So that's interesting. So there's your Aussie. Why is Aussie down? That's the answer. Yep. Aussie's strong compared to the pound. So you're like, what do you mean it's weak? Aussie's strong. Versus the pound. Meda. So check this out. Rules of engagement. Okay. If you were a bear and I were to marry, let's go through this. I can't see further back here. This is a sell price. We didn't quite get there. This is out of position, so you ride the 4-hour 21, which worked. Then this is a sell, this is a sell, and this is a sell. Ha! Whale oil be. Okay, here's the giant sucking sound of summer, if you will. And now, I suppose what you're looking for is something like this. What do you stink? Smell like a plan? Pound out, you're already up 115 pips. Right on, Wolfgang. Good for you. Pretty good trade. You can see it's trending quite well. This consolidation period is interesting because it's exactly when you would expect it to happen. Okay. So here's the Fed meeting. We all remember the Fed meeting. And then tiptoe into July, and we're done. Okay? And then it opens up. Week 1, week 2, week 3, right? Starts the move the 3rd week of August. Cool. So, right, here's a key turning point. Here's a key turning point. And here's a key turning point. All known in advance through seasonality. That's cool, right? So now the thing is, are you going to play a retrace? Oh, And by the way, we blew through the monthly pivots in September, and we knew that in advance as well. Had full bore conversations on the topic of why we would expect to blow. See, like, let's put it this way. If you were a seller here, your target's here, okay? If you were doing a 4-hour 21, your target's here, right? Your target's here. Now, in these cases, we didn't get them. This one hit the target on the last minute of the last day. But those are the assumptions anyways. That's what you're shooting for. Even if you don't hit it, that's what you're shooting for. The interesting thing is we were not shooting for this, which is the same as this target and 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 that, right? On this particular month, discussed 3, 6, 9 months ago, we said this month here, we would actually blow through that pivot. That's not the target anymore. In fact, the target would be more like R3 and S3. How many people can confirm that as an absolute total fact? Maybe even R4, S4, but I don't even have that on a chart. But definitely, 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 in the month of September, we are not aiming at the typical targets, but we're blowing the doors off those targets and going to the next level. We're targeting, expecting it here, 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 and here, that this month we are going 3 standard deviations above or below the mean, depending on the pair. How cool is that? Isn't that neat? Now, maybe it doesn't make you extra money. Maybe it does. But the thing is, you have the knowledge in place. And then because of that, you can use that knowledge to make better decisions. Ideally, you would expect that you are making more money on that. Like, for example, you see all of this and you say, well, typically in a scenario like that, you would exit this, right? In a scenario like that, you would exit every single time except September. Huh. Well, oil be. MR fish. CDBDIs. So, I don't know. Cool. Interesting. So for this, before I'm a buyer, I'm gonna do some more waiting. I love waiting. Hey, wait, that's the proper animation. Oh, maybe you guys are subscribing on Facebook or following or whatever it's called. That's what it is. So if you click, so there's animations now for YouTube and another animation for Facebook. Oh, neato. So I'll have to create new animations, I guess. Huh. All right. All right, so let's look at some yen pairs. Yen. Oh, you know what? Don't let me forget. I wanted to go through the calendar. Oh. I wanted 75 to hold. Hang on, Bubba. Didn't. All right. Where's the psych level? Where's the psych levels? Psych levels here. So I kind of want that to hold. All right, so we'll move on.com. Oh, Beast. Beast looked interesting today. I don't even have her on here. Insert, what do I need? Oh, I need a new chart. I need a new chart. Sound like Huey Lewis in the news, huh? I need a new chart. Okay, thank you. Liking the stream. Very cool, zombie. This isn't funny. All right. Here's the beast. Here's the pig dog. Not pig dog. The beast. The Widowmaker. Okay. So here's the issue. According to standard operating procedure, which may or may not be for this month, but let's just talk about it. Standard operating procedure says this is a top and this here's a bottom. So it went a little higher, went a little lower, whatever. And in normal scenarios, besides September, we would say this is the expected range. Okay? Expected range, sort of like your average daily range, except you can predict the range before it's happened. So now, in normal operating procedures, I'd say you would now backfill the range. Why? Because you'd have profit taking down low. Right? This would be profit taking for the bears, which would then rise it up. Okay? So under normal situations, I'd say this is kind of done. I'm not quite ready to say that yet. But what if you were a buyer of this, that you just felt that enough is enough selling off the pound? Brexit. We got it. Okay? It dropped from 143 to 136. So that's a lot of pips, right? So pound has dropped almost 1,000 pips. When are you going to buy it? All right, 700 pips. Okay, pound has dropped 700 pips. When are you going to make up? Okay, I accept your apology, pound. All right, and when do you get north? Well, let's do like now a weekly bullish bias swing trade. Oh snap! Okay, sure, this is a mighty step down, but it might be the beginning of a beautiful relationship. You see? It could be, right? So if you were going to be an adventurous bull, you're planning on monthly profit taking. However, you know that even though it's standard operating procedure for bears to take profit, they potentially will not take profit. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be smart. You gotta be open-minded. You gotta see reality. So you're like, okay, I gotta be careful. But it doesn't mean you can't be in the trade either, right? You just gotta be careful. So one of the things you could do now is say, okay, well, you're playing this. If it drops lower, you're out. Just F that. You're done. Because you know if you blow through S2, you're going to S3. Not every month, just this month. This month is not like October. This month is not like August. Don't say, well, this is what Wayne said, and then it happens every time. Only under these circumstances in which I prepared you months and weeks and days ago. Okay, so great. So you still take the shot, though, right? You can see the net take the shot. So you take the shot, and then you're like, if it goes lower, you're out, because if you go through S2, you're going to S3. Now, the next thing a bull has to worry about, because remember, and I think a lot of newer traders forget this. If you're a bull and you buy a good setup like this, like it's still a good setup if you're a bull, except you're doing the dumbest thing you could possibly do, and that's buying a downtrend. Right? On's in the trade. Great. Good trade. dumb scenario, right? So now you at least got to be careful. So you can see the net take the shot, but you got to do it at as little risk as possible, right? So if you can get above here, then the next thing to worry about is here. And then if you can get above that, then you can move your stop. Raymond, I don't want to talk about it today. I'm sorry. Let's talk about it maybe tomorrow. So you got to start stepping up. See, like this is a good trade. This is a good trade. Buying a step down is not a good trade per se. There's extra risk associated with this in this scenario than in other scenarios. So yes, I like buying the M2. Yes, I like buying the M2 in the first minute of the week. That's why I did our social hour yesterday at that time, because you should have already bought it and done. Okay? But now what? Now you still, before you're going to be, you're trying to turn the market, and yet you don't have the capability. Even if you had $100 million, you don't have the capability of turning this market. So you need a lot of other people to do that trade with you. I would rather you wait for, right? I'd rather you recognize the importance of where we are, observe the reversal, right? Using your scientific methodology. That's what technical analysis is. And then once you observe the reversal, buy your dips in an uptrend versus buying your dips in a downtrend. And that's why I teach things like standard deviation a lot with you guys, because it's just statistics. And statistically speaking, you'll be better off buying a positive slope as a bear than a negative slope. Remember, your job isn't to buy low and sell high. Your job is to buy low in an uptrend and sell high in a downtrend. There's a difference. Now, On's like, all right, On's got a break even already, and that's how you handle that, right? But I'd say there's almost a 90% chance that you will break even. Okay? But take the shot. If you're here, take the shot, right? Or the next thing is to wait for this. Okay? And then if you get that, then I would draw this, and then I would probably buy that. And I'd be a buyer sort of in this role, because now you can connect the dots and say, well, statistically speaking, you bought one standard deviation from a mean, and the mean has a positive slope, rise over run. Which is a lot different, right? Now, sometimes you throw the guppies away, right? You throw them away like, oh, well, I knew this would be a good trade, and I knew this was going to be a good trade, but I waited for the gooder trade. Well, at the end of the year, your clients just see your gooder trades, right? Yeah, so, RC's like, hey, so what about the bigger time frame? Yeah, and most people aren't there, though, right, Raymond? So we're talking to a live stream on YouTube with a lot of newer traders, and they don't see that. Okay? But even then, you can't, to see that you have to be doing your analysis, and most people are looking at it here. And in this scenario, the way I look at it is, this is still a lower low. And that takes precedence over everything. So even if this is a buy, if you don't have that in your analysis, and then you're not going to be able to manage the trade properly. Like, let's say the stop size, and then because of the stop size, your lot size, and then with that, you have to have proper targets, right? And most people are just not dropping, let's say, 100 pip stop going for a 300 pip limit. They're not there mentally, intellectually, experience-wise, emotionally, right? So you know, so you're totally right. But that's, you know, that's a higher skill level. Okay. And of course, you're probably looking at this because you're also thinking of things like fundamentals, central banking policy, seasonality. And that's like, you know, that's not YouTube 101, right? Yeah. Right? Most people are going for 30 pips. So in that case, that would be irrelevant. All right, tile horizontally. Yeah, Roger's right. Cool. Got my double bottom. Nice. Come on, Bubba. Come on now, Bubba. Okay. Extremely mediocre trade, but I'm buying it off a psych level. I don't even know if you can call that seeing the net. What net? What net? There's no net. What net, Bubba? All right. Mama, what's vacation? That's when your daddy blows up his trading account. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. So anyway, so psych level, weekly central, it's just a silly little swing, right? Yeah. All right. So there's your Aussie. There's some other things going on too. This buy the dip on this was pretty interesting. Okay. Can you see it? Right at the New York Open. It was a gift, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you like on this one, guys. If you didn't buy this, I would suggest, and here it goes, shameless plug. I'm going to sell you something. If you didn't buy this as a bull, you need to take the price action course at FX Bootcamp. Of course, now all the courses are bundled together, so you know. But you, you're missing like this ginormous piece of the puzzle if you didn't see this coming. So, yeah. Anyways, so this was like a gift. This is like you walk into a bank and the bank manager comes up and, hey, welcome to our bank. Here's the key to the vault. I'm going to go have lunch. And if there's no money in the vault when I get back, we're not going to call the cops. You're like, really? And then you ask the banker, would it be morally wrong for me to take the money while you're at lunch? He's like, oh, no. It's all insured. It's all insured by the FDIC. No one would actually lose money. Oh, cool. All right, go have lunch. It's like that. That's what it's like. Okay, so anyways, upsy daisy, target $1.26 and higher. Okay. Let me teach you in 10 seconds or less how to trade the euro yen. Ready? First minute of the new week, you should buy it. First minute of the new week, you should buy it. Done. Yep, that's that. Yep. Oh. Okay. First minute of the new week, no buy. Yeah. There's no buy there. You're like, oh, but Wayne, don't but Wayne me. It's OOP. You could ride the 4-hour 21. I'm not sure if it gave you that. So anyways. Couldn't see which pivot and which time you use. I prefer classic pivot. Yeah, 2-4. Oh, on the 4-hour? Yeah, no, I use daily pivots, weekly pivots, monthly pivots. Right? Yeah, Wolfgang's like, yeah, especially pound yen, 300 pips is easy for sure. But you to handle, you know, how do you do it? Like the power of your wand, or whatever. It's a double-edged sword, right? So the more reward that's built in, the more risk you're taking. So therefore, you should have a larger stop to take out the bad luck factor. But then, because of the wider stop, your lot size should be smaller. So it ends up being about the same as everything else, or at least it should be. Okay. Now, like a pound yen, especially in the good times, if you start like what Raymond was saying, you're like, okay, well, we're about a standard deviation from a mean. We're kind of along a trend line on a daily. There's a psych level, and you think sometime this week this is going to start turning north. So what you do is, you know, your first trade on this is in here because that's so obvious, and that's part of your bigger plan. But like, that's ridiculously obvious as a buy. So you take it, but you don't expect much. Now, if you find tomorrow you're up 100 pips, then you have permission to continue with the strategy. And the continuity here would be going into daily. So you day trade this now. And so, right? So you find yourself doing this. So let's say it goes up higher in New York. Okay, so I'm projecting this a little higher in New York. And because of that, it pulls this up. So anyway, so your plan tomorrow would be this, and then you'd head up here. And now you would have the roll reversal and the resistance to contend with. So you got resistance here, and then you got the roll reversal here. Okay. So then tomorrow would look like this, and then you'd break out, and you'd continue, and you're folding in the week, and then the days, okay? And then you'll also can fold in your market opens, right? Asia open, London open, right? New York open, and you're doing that every day too. So right? And the reason you do that is because instead of putting like one standard lot here and risking 100 pips, which is $1,000, which you could easily lose on pound yen, what you're doing is maybe you trade 10 mini lots on daily and intraday basis in the direction of the big plan. And if the big plan fails, you might only have 2 or 3 or 4 minis on it instead of one giant standard. And each one of them, you had time to move to break even versus dropping here and then risking the 1,000 and then praying, right? You see what I mean? Jeff says, with all the Brexit stuff, maybe he doesn't want to trade this. The thing is, you want the volatility. You don't want it in your trading history, but you want, like for example, you said because of the Brexit shizzle, maybe you don't trade this, but it moves 700 pips in a week and a half. Why wouldn't you want to trade it? You just wouldn't want to be buying it. So in that case, if you're a seller, you're thinking, all right, we're gonna make our way back sort of in this zone. And you're going to start looking to get short around $1.37. Okay? because you're quite certain this is going to happen. Cool. Then plan it up. Or in this case, plan it out and plan it down. Plan it. Okay? Okay? That's great. By the way, that whiskey I drank last night, guess what? It was good. Whiskey of the year. Yeah, it was good. You're like, no shot, Shylock. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I want to do the calendar. All right, let's just do the calendar. Hang on. La, la, la. Forex done today. Calendar. He rules the world with truth. All right. This week, okay. RBA meeting minutes. What do you think? You know what? Before we go into this, I want to get a coffee. I know it sucks, right? Like, what's he talking about getting a coffee? That's cool. There's Facebook. That's kind of interesting. Facebook. I got two Facebooks going. It's amazing because Facebook says I'm not connected to Facebook. How weird. So I'm glad you guys can actually see me. All right, so I'll tell you what. I need to make some coffee. It's a 1 minute. How about that? Now we got sound? I haven't touched anything. Really? No sound now. Wow. All right, well, let's see. I haven't touched the mic. Amazing. Oh, yeah, there is some. Yeah. All right, so it's just not on that scene. Okay. Because I'm mad, because I'm the enemy. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, you missed my rendition of Don't Believe the Hype while I was making my latte. All right, cool. So, welcome back to the third half of our presentation. So, looking at the calendar, we're looking at the most important events of the week. We're starting today. Well, I guess you should do the pound stuff. That's now, right? No, it's in a half an hour. Okay. Okay, so you got the pound stuff, and then tonight you have the RBA meeting minutes, which you can just print out and read. Right? Oh, yeah, that's right. So if you sent an email about that, that's cool. The coffee that I had at Harvard, which was just fantastic, and it's just the stuff they provide to the students when you in the houses. So Harvard doesn't have dorms; they have houses. So when you're in a house, each house has its own kitchen and kitchen staff, and they're fantastic people. The staff, they're all nice people, and I've known them over the years. So like, oh, I know you, right? Anyways, they have something they provide to the students called Fog Buster, and it's 5 different types of coffee beans roasted 5 different ways, blended together, ground up just perfectly. And that's what they give to their students. You're like, it's good though, I'm telling you. It's good. So yeah, so that's different, but you got a Harvard blend. That I wonder if it's somehow similar. Maybe a Harvard student did it. But anyways, it's good coffee. You should go to Harvard just to have the coffee. All right. Now tomorrow, we're going to find out what the unemployment rate and all that, whatever. Great Britain's already got its own problems, so above and beyond that. So I think Brexit overstates that or over supersedes that. All right. Moving on to Wednesday. Anything going on Wednesday? Whale, kitty cat, inflation. Okay, fine. U.S. retail sales, that's a big one. Cool. And this thing called the Fed and a press conference and all that kind of stuff. That could be that. Johnny says $20 a pound on Amazon. What is? Yeah, no, I bet you it's good, Sophie. It's got to be a Harvard person behind it, huh? Some students like, oh, I miss my coffee. Johnny says $20 a pound on Amazon. What for Harvard Fog Buster, or just a generic Fog Buster? But yeah, good coffee is a nice pleasure. All right. So anyway, so we got the big Fed thing, obviously, right? Kiwi GDP, Aussie unemployment, Bank of Japan. Like, holy schnicker-schnocker. What an amazing week we have. Do you see that? Could it get any better? Bank of England interest rates? Like, what are you talking about? And then retail sales, right? We're interested in all these retail sales, obviously, to see if the economy is coming back. So, like, this is a ridiculous week in regards to news that will impact the foreign exchange market this week. This week is crazy. Crazy. Oh, look at this. It says 11,000, yet we have 15,000. Amazing. All right. Amazing, guys. Amazing. Amazing. So, what kind of, is there inflation in Great Britain? And is it the good kind or the bad kind? Then, RBA meeting minutes. What are the players of the Reserve Bank of Australia talking about? What are their concerns? What's their outlook for the future? AKA, what is the value of the Aussie dollar? That's just today. Okay, tomorrow, pound news. Take a break. Catch your breath, right? Then Wednesday, more pound. U.S. retail sales. This is huge, right? Kitty CAD, CPI, huge. Fed interest rate policy, huge. Fed conference regarding their decision, huge. Kiwi GDP, huge. Aussie unemployment, huge. Bank of Japan interest rate decision, huge. Right? You can attend their press conference. Then Bank of England interest rate decision, huge, right? You get their minutes, you get their summaries, you get their decisions, like, oh my God. And then retail sales for Canada and the huge. So keep your eye on a calendar. Don't just show up and like, what's going on, fellas, and throw down a trade. You're like, oh, what's going on? And all of a sudden, boom, the market moves and you get wiped up because you didn't do your job properly. This is fantastic for fundamentals. Absolutely key to the rest of the summer. So if you recall, and this is why I want to bring this up. If you recall, or if you've been hanging with me for years, you'll know that I'll say it's either the third week of August or the third week of September. I don't know which one. How would I know the future? But those are the weeks I'm most interested in for setting up the rest of the year. Right? Does anyone have that burned into their brain? You know it's either the third week of August or the third week of September? For example, September could open out of position and we rally up like crazy. That's happened quite a bit to me. But also, September can open up on an M3, drop all the way down to the M2, creating a higher low or double bottom. That's happened to me tons of times too. But I don't know which one, or either really. I don't know if either will work, but I know that those are the weeks I need to be serious. Okay? August, the third week of August is often a front run because a breakout hasn't occurred yet. The third week of September is more like, okay, time to get serious. All right, like everyone's at the game now, right? Like this is prime time. So this is the third week. Or sets up the third week. It depends on how you look at it, right? You can call it whatever week you want. Whether this creates the rally or we get through it and next week's the rally, if a rally's coming, it's got to be like, I'm hot to go HOTTOGO. Okay? But like, holy smokes, is there a lot of important news, right? And would you care about the COT report knowing that? No, because this is all backward looking. We're more interested in what is about to happen. TNT. Boom. I'm dynamite. Yeah. Very cool. Boy, we had a good time last night smoking cigars and drinking our booze. I sent out an email to swing traders. That's how that happened, by the way. Okay. Pound yen going up a lot. Well, it's supposed to, guys. Okay, it's not too complicated. I risked 10 pips on that trade. Okay, anyways. So again, to join that group, remember you go to fxbootcamp.com, you sign up for the training courses. 80% off right now. And then it's like, hey, yo, thanks for signing up. Do you want to join the live group? That's how that, right? Kishkor, maybe, well, I sent it to the emails of people that are members of the swing trading group and have interacted in the last 31 days. So maybe, yeah, you haven't read my emails for a while or something, but yeah. And I think the numbers were like 60% attended. Like, amazing, right? So, anyways. Oh no, you're talking about live.fx. I'm talking about the swing trading group. Okay. Yeah. That and under promotions that can happen. Yeah. What am I going to do? You did not? What? What did I do not? I did not. You didn't get it either, Maida? Jean-Guy didn't get the email. Well, I didn't create the database. I asked the database, tell me. So maybe because you guys moved over, it's excluding you. So let me think about how to do that. I'll think about how to create the list. Okay, I'll look into it. I'll see how the database works. I'll try to create a better list. I see that, Maida. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of you. I'll create the list a different way. So I think what's happened is for those who went from my swing trading group to the live group, it's probably taking you off one list and putting you on a different list. So that's what it's doing. I have a pretty intelligent database, which means you can screw it up. All right. So yeah, the ends are taking off. Sure. Someone said the pound's taking off. Yeah, but like I said, all of this is irrelevant now. I mean, especially since we've gone through all of this earlier, right? Where there was a trade here, there's a trade here, and even this is the New York Open. And like to see it going now, like, well, of course. Yeah, no one should drink a mojito alone. Well, Jean-Guy, just turn your mic off. You got some feedback between your mic and your speaker. No. Sophie, it's not that you weren't supposed to. No. In sending an invitation, I asked the database to tell me who's in the swing trading group, who's in my Thursday group. And because you would have been in the Thursday group, but then you transferred over to the daily group, it then took you off the list. So, right, because you're no longer technically in one, you're in the other. So I think what it's did is it said people that transitioned over is not going to be on the list, right? So anyways, it's a database issue. Right. We're all one happy family. All right, so cool. So guys, this going up at the New York Open, like, okay. Right? And I already outlined the plan for tomorrow too. So, okay, right? So the key moments in time, market open, market open, market open. To look at it even differently, so this is just a simple 15-minute chart, so this should all be pretty simple trading. Okay? Up, 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 down, down, buy. Okay? You see it? Okay? So let's go through. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down. Here's your roll reversal, buy. Okay? Up, 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 down, down. Here's your roll reversal, buy. Okay? Up, 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 up. Here's your roll reversal, buy. Okay? Some profit taking going into New York, but the other way of looking at it is it's the same thing. But it really what's happening is this. It's related to the New York Open. Okay, it's similar to this move here. There's some profit taking going into the London. There's some profit taking going into the New York, right? But there are, right? This is you basically have two swings in Asia, two swings in London, and now the first swing in New York, and then in 2 hours we're going to have the London close. So we need sort of a move, a pullback, a move, and then the bigger pullback on consolidation at the London close. You see how you break it down period to period to period to period? That's why I was saying, instead of putting one standard lot here and saying this is a monthly trade, or it's a weekly trade, or it's a day trade, what you do is all of them, but instead of one giant lump sum, right, you break it into digestible pieces, and you're just trading price action in standard operating procedure, right? Does that make sense? Well, so the language, Wolfgang, we got to work on, like, should go to at least 130. That sounds like a giant guess. Right now, 136.99. Not it should go to at least. No, based on technical analysis, the target is 137. It's certain. It's not like, right? No, this predicts that, done. Right? This predicts that. Not a guess. Not should, maybe, kind of out there at least. That is the target. Okay? Now, the conservative target, if you prefer having the conservative target on there, I can add that as well. Okay? Profit target, conservative, 136.68. Bullish profit zone aggressive, 137, right? So there you go. Okay. Then you can open that up. That's just for today. Okay. And now you open that up, and that's just the beginning of the beautiful relationship. If we can then, so what that does is it does this. It gets us up to here, and I already did this. By the way, I did this an hour ago for you guys. You're going to run into this. There's going to be a down. Then you're going to run into this, and then there's going to be an up, and then you do the break, and then you do the retracement, and then you come back up, and that's your week. And if you can get that rocking and rolling, the aggressive target is 141. But let's update that and say, well, let's not plan on aggressive, let's plan on conservative. So I'll go back and add the conservative one. Wait, it should be there. I already did that, right? Is that the conservative one? Oh, 141 is the conservative one. Oh, yeah. So the weekly plan is if you can turn this north, we're going to 141 to 143. And we're at 135 and some change. Well, we were. So if you had done your job, right, last night, aggressive trade, but you'd be up 100 pips by now, and you'd feel good about it. And so you're at 136.50, right, going for 142. That's why I think you have time to take little shots and build it up, right? So 136 to 141. Good money. See that? 500 pips there, 700 pips there. Lelo. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to pull the plug. I'm going to pull the plug. That's enough for today. So, thank you for being on the YouTube live stream or the Facebook live stream. I'm hoping this is a decent test. Maybe this is something that's better for you. Not really sure. We'll find out. Right now, YouTube says it's not streaming, but it is streaming. So I guess once we work out those hiccups, perhaps this will be something neat. I do like the fact that if you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, I can see your chat on one. So I have a unified multi-stream chat, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know if you want Facebook versus YouTube, and I don't know if YouTube's going to ban me now because they hate Facebook. I don't really know. But thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your professionalism. Okay. Brug says it's a terrible stream and very bad. All right, well, we'll miss you, Brug. So, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Yeah, Brug, go ahead and dislike it. That'd be great. That would really help because it tells YouTube that you cared. Right on. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being you. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful, it's true. And I love